going on, Jerome? So the Minnesota Vikings running game has been sort of questionable and uneven so far this season, but with the addition of Josh Dobbs in the backfield, there's a lot more creativity, a lot more emphasis on the running game. Both Dobbs can move, as well as his threat helps the running backs, keeps those linebackers just a step slow, just a shade slow. So hopefully the Vikings running game will open up. Now, unfortunately, Alexander Mattison suffered a concussion in the win over the Saints, so his availability could be up in the air for the Broncos game, but it did open up the door for Ty Chandler, who's getting some more work because of the Cam Akers Achilles injury, as well as King-Kenny Nwangu, the best kick returner in the National Football League, getting a little bit of run at running back as well. And Ty Chandler, this has been the Ty Chandler propaganda account for a while. Like, he's got speed, he's got quickness, he's adequate as a pass blocker, he's a solid receiver, and just want to see him more involved in the game plan. And the Vikings, I mean, maybe even by default with the Madison injury, may have to lean on Ty Chandler in the game Sunday night against the Broncos. But also, some more reinforcements are on the way. Adam Schefter go back to Minnesota. The Vikings are signing running back Myles Gaskin to their practice squad after the Rams signed him away from Minnesota, per source. And it makes sense. Gaskin came over from the Miami Dolphins, had some crossover with Brian Flores there, but a solid veteran do-it-all running back who is adept in outside zone, and having him in the mix, I mean, it made sense to bring him back after the Cam Akers injury, but certainly after the Madison injury with the concussion, it does make a ton of sense in this spot. But Madison, we'll see about him clearing concussion protocol. Typically, the average for clearing has been about 9 days this season, per Kevin Seifert, ESPN, who's not Carl Gerbschmidt. And I think it's unlikely that he'll play against the Broncos. So it could be a Ty Chandler, King-Kenny, Myles Gaskin, or maybe even the rookie DeWayne McBride as the three-headed monster, but really the two-headed monster headed into the game against Denver. And I would love to see Ty Chandler because the Vikings running game, even though Madison, I respect him. He's a solid, do-it-all, jack-of-all-trades, meat and potatoes running back, but he just doesn't have that extra gear. And we did see that a little bit from Cam Akers before he unfortunately injured his other Achilles. And the Vikings' yards per attempt, I mean, it's just not there. It just really ground down. But Chandler and King-Kenny does give you a chance to have explosive plays. Chandler getting his first career rushing touchdown off a wildcat. Should have had a second one, but Brian O'Neill was called for a hold, even though that's kind of questionable. I mean, basically the defender jumped right into O'Neill's arms. What is he supposed to do? I don't know, man. But Ty Chandler does bring an extra dimension. And like we said, I actually do think that Josh Dobbs, I mean, Dobbs has been here 2 games. He's already the third leading rusher on the team, and he's going to pass Cam Akers in the next game. But having a running back does having a running quarterback does open things up for the running backs. And Kevin O'Connell is getting a lot more creative with using some zone reads, some design quarterback runs, and hopefully that's going to soften things up for the running game because the Vikings. That's the only thing that's really missing right now, because Dobbs is playing out of his mind good. He's able to sling the ball downfield. The Vikings get JJ back soon, and as well as KJ Osborne. The offensive line is becoming top tier. The defense is playing like a top 10 unit since week 4 on, and if the Vikings can get the running game going, you got everything. You really do have everything going on. So hopefully, knocking on all the wood, Madison will return sooner rather than later. But also, I do think that guys like Ty Chandler and King-Kenny do deserve more work. Just have some more explosive runs in the running game. But your thoughts are thoughts. Take a look at the Vikings running back situation. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.